Unit 5 Preamble. Which of the following is a right of an Indian citizen due to India's acceptance of secularism? Sir, is A. Due to the acceptance of secularism by India, the Indian citizen has the right to follow religion as they wishes. Secular means that the government will not grant any recognition or protection of religion to any religion. It will treat all religions equally. In the preamble, secularism word was added by the 42nd Amendment Act 1976, which is also known as mini constitution. In preamble of the Indian Constitution, the term social socialism derives its inspiration from which of the following? It's from Russian Revolution. The term socialism in the preamble of the Indian Constitution is inspired by the Russian Revolution. The 42nd Constitution Amendment Act 1976 added the words socialist, secular, and integrity to the preamble of the Constitution. From American Revolution, we have taken preamble. From French Revolution, we have taken the ideals of equality, liberty, and fraternity. From German Revolution, we have taken the emergency system in our constitution. In which part of the constitution the thought of makers of constitution is reflected? So it's the preamble. Preamble is basically the statement which gives about the idea what constitution includes in it and what is for what its articles are. The thought of the framers of Indian Constitution is reflected in the preamble of the Constitution of India. The language of the preamble is taken from the Constitution of Australia. The preamble summarizes the entire constitution. संविधान की प्रस्तावना हमारे ये जो है ये दर्शाता है कि हमारे संविधान में क्या क्या चीज़ें हैं। प्रस्तावना को अमेरिकी संविधान से लिया गया है। इसकी भाषा ऑस्ट्रेलिया से ली है एंड प्रस्तावना का जो प्रस्ताव है ये 1946 में 13 दिसंबर 1946 में जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी के द्वारा तीसरी संविधान समिति में रखा गया था, जिसे 1947 22 जनवरी को पास किया गया था एंड 1949 26 जनवरी को इसे अडॉप्ट किया हमने. Which part of the constitution reflects the spirits and ideals of its makers? It's again preamble. Fundamental rights in third part, DPSP in fourth part, emergency provisions in I think 17th part, 316th part. Emergency provisions in part 18. So choose correct statement. India is a theocratic country. India is a secular country. There is a definite state religion in India. Justice is given only to Indians living in the country. So any question which contains only completely definitely types words, these are always wrong. Definite state religion in India? No. India is a secular country, not theocratic. India is a secular country, or it has no national religion. The word secular in the constitution means equal respect and opportunity for all religions. India has been declared a secular state by the Indian constitution. The term secular was added to the preamble of the constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act in the year 1976. Which of the following does not indicate the meaning of the word republic mentioned in the preamble? The head of the state is elected directly or indirectly for a certain period. Political sovereignty lies in the people and not in the one person. Okay. All government offices are open to every citizen without any discrimination, even in the absence of any privileged class. At the highest post of the country, where the head of state is a hereditary king. So, in our constitution or our country, there is a no king post. We just forced the king who had who had been controlling us, like British king, in 1947 to leave our country. The republic, wherein the principal any person from the general public can occupy the highest post of a country. कोई भी person president बन सकता है या prime minister. Such a rule is called a republic. Hereditary, like आज king है कल, today the head is king, tomorrow after his death his son become the king. So we are republic. The republic word does not indicate its meaning. A republic is a state in which supreme power is held by the people and their elected representatives. It has an elected head of the state rather than a monarch. The word republic in the preamble of the Constitution of India indicates the head of the country is hereditary. The head of the country is constitutional ruler. The head of the country is the elected representative, or none of the above. So above, even the PM and the presidents are the representatives, so uh, being elected. So PM is elected directly, and while the PM and other members of legislative assemblies and the state assemblies so elect them, the president indirectly. Republic, the word republic had been taken in the preamble from the French Constitution with the ideals of liberty, fraternity, and equality. Since the commencement of the Constitution, which act has provisions relating to citizenship and laws of citizenship. I think it's Unit 6, Citizenship, Question 70. Which of the following mentions Part 2 of the Indian Constitution? It's citizenship. Preamble is the basic statement of Constitution, what it the Constitution includes in it. Fundamental rights in Part 3, Union and its territories in Part 1. Part 2, citizenship has articles from Article 5 to Article 11. Fundamental rights from Article 12 to Article 35. Since the commencement of the Constitution, which act has provisions relating to citizenship and laws of citizenship? So answer is Answer is C. In the beginning of the Constitution, the provisions related to citizenship are given in Articles 5 to 11 in Part 2 of the Constitution of India. The relevant Indian law is the Citizenship Act 1955, which was amended by the Citizenship Amendment Act 1986, the Citizenship Amendment Act 1992, the Citizenship Amendment Act 2003 by the President of India on 7th January 2004. Under the Citizenship Act 1955, citizenship of India can be acquired in the following ways: citizenship by birth, citizenship by descent, like if your mother or father should be Indian, citizenship by registration, and citizenship by naturalization. So, the latest Citizenship Amendment Act is Act 2019, which provides citizenship articles for the citizens of Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Afghan minorities of Hindu, Christian, Sikh, and other religions, excluding the Islam religion. 72. Which of the following is not a condition of obtaining citizenship of India? So it's by birth, by dynasty, by proper acquisition and naturalization. It's not by dynasty. Proper, sorry, it's a property acquisition. You can be citizenship by dynasty, like your parent or mother should be the citizens of India. By birth, by naturalization means by getting the by getting the acceptance of citizenship by legal uh, administration of India. The Citizenship Act 1955 lays down 5 conditions for obtaining citizenship, and that can be on the basis of birth, hereditary registration, naturalization, and field inclusion. While there is no provision for citizenship from property acquisition. Unit 7, Fundamental Rights. The idea of passing fundamental rights in the Constitution of India was inspired by the Constitution of which country? We know it's America. From We have taken fundamental rights from American Constitution, along with the others like impeachment of president and removal of Supreme Court and High Court judges, and independent judiciary from American Constitution. So America was the first country in the world which has written constitution. Fundamental rights. Fundamental rights in the Indian Constitution are described in Article 12 to 35 in Part 3 of the Constitution. In on the original Constitution, there were 7 fundamental rights, uh, but by the 44th Constitutional Amendment Act in 1978, right to property was removed and was shifted to Article 300 A in Part 12. At present, citizens have a total of 6 fundamental rights, which are right to equality from 14 to 18, right to freedom from 19 to 22, right against exploitation 23 and 24, 23 for exploitation against human trafficking, and 24 is related to work of children in factories below the age of 14. Next is cultural and educational rights in 29 and 30, right of freedom of religion in 25 to 28, right to constitutional remedies in Article 32. In Article 32, there are five types of writs are given. This article is also known as the soul of remedies to the Constitution. Part 3 of the Indian Constitution deals with the which subjects its fundamental rights. Concepts of fundamental rights of the Indian Constitution is inspired by which country? It's America. From France, we have taken republic and ideals of liberty, freedom, fraternity, equality. From Ireland, we have taken the DPSP and nomination of nominated members of Rajya Sabha. In India, what age allowed to get factory employment? It's 14. In Article 24, it's given. No child below the age of 14 years shall be employed to work in any factory or mine in any other hazardous employment. So it means कोई भी child 14 years से नीचे कोई हैवी वर्क नहीं कर सकता है, बट कोई लाइट वर्क है वो उसे कर सकता है. Which of the following fundamental rights is not included in the fundamental rights described in the Constitution of India? It's right to privacy. Right to equality, right to property, and right to speech. So answer is C. The provisions of fundamental rights are derived from the Constitution of America. 7 fundamental rights were given in the Indian Constitution, but currently the number of fundamental rights is 6. By the 44th Constitutional Amendment Act 1978, the right to property was removed from the category of fundamental rights, and general legal rights had been added to Article 300A. The right to privacy is mentioned under which part of the Constitution? It's in Part 3 of the Constitution. Right to life and personal liberty, that is Article 21. In August 2017, 9 judges of Constitutional Bench of the Supreme Court unanimously declared the right to privacy as a fundamental right. Like right to privacy is a person has the right to hide his personal details, like we hide our Aadhaar card details and other ID details and any other name and related to himself that he don't want to reveal. Right to privacy, right to privacy is an integral part of which of the following sections of the Constitution of India? Its fundamental rights, Article 21. Which of the following is mentioned in Article 51A of the Indian Constitution? So in 51A we have mentioned fundamental duties which had been taken from the Russian Constitution or USSR or Soviet Constitution. In the 1974 Swarn Singh Committee recommended to add fundamental duties to the Constitution of India of Article 51A in Part 4A by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976. Under the Title 10, basic duties were added. Later, a new basic duty was added by the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002. Currently, the number of fundamental duties are 11. So there are two amendments with respect to fundamental duties. 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976 and 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002. Which part of the Indian Constitution gives the state the right to make special provisions for children, women, scheduled castes, and scheduled tribes? It's part 3. According to Article 15.3 of Part 3 of the Indian Constitution, the state gives the right, the power of special provision for women and children. 15.4 give the state the power of special provision for scheduled caste and tribes. So, Article 15 discuss about the prohibition of discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or birth of place. In which year was the Right to Education Act RTE was implemented in India? So there are two things when RTE, that is शिक्षा का अधिकार or Right to Education Act in India was passed in 2009, but it was implemented from April 1st, 2010, when Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha, when both the houses passes the any bill that it's it is passed to president to sign it finally. If he signs, it becomes the law and gets in force or comes into force. So on it is effected from 1st April 2010. As 2010 is not given in the options, so answer 2009 is right. Under this provision of free and compulsory education has been made to children between 16 to 14 years of age. Most of the fundamental rights are included in the article from our constitution 12 to 35, 36 to 30, 51 are in directive principles of state policy राज्य की नीति निर्देशक तत्व में 112 से 135 तक यूनियन पार्ट 5 यूनियन के बारे में ही है. आर्टिकल 52 से आर्टिकल 151 तक. Part 3 of the Constitution is also called the Magna Carta of India. It is also called the father of fundamental rights. 6 basic rights have been given in the Constitution currently. Which of the following was not a fundamental right of an Indian citizen? So it's right to privacy, right to equality, life, and right against exploitation was given in original constitution. Right to privacy was added in